You're listening to My Grito Podcast Network, celebrating the culture of Chicanos and Latinos one story and voice at a time. Connect on social, on Instagram and Facebook at My Grito. Find all the My Grito Podcast Network shows over at mygrito.net.
Ladies and gentlemen and lowlives, thank you for checking in to another episode of Emo Brown, the podcast, brought to you by the wonderful people at The Grasshopper. For all your medicinal, recreational cannabis needs, take your Emo Brown card, slap it on the table, and if it clacks, you get 15% off. Today, right now, in the studio, in the place to be, legend, El Compa Bobby Tribal, su compa David de Baca. We'll be going over Street Legacy. It's going to be opening in Escondido, June 25th, this Saturday at 11. Strap yourselves in. It's going to be a crazy ride.
Your voice, dog.
What's up? What's on my voice?
You get down. You're like,
what's on my fucking voice?
Official radio, dude.
Shit,
man.
dude. Como que la prendan, it's on. It's on and popping, bro.
You're about to land some shit real soon. Like,
he's right here. I just landed it.
No, I mean like an official, super official something.
Hey, man, I'm just happy you left Escondido and you came down here, bro.
I was...
Thank you for meandering with the peasants down here in Chula Vista. We appreciate you gracing us, bro. As soon as you came, I saw like a little girl with like acne. You walked in and acne was cleared up. I was like, is the way he's got special powers? He's got special powers.
See, there he goes.
What's up, Bobby? What's going on, man? Thank you very much for coming down here, man.
I always appreciate the invite and I enjoy, I listen to the podcast. You already know that. I'm a fan of what you guys are doing and I'm down. Like it's cool.
Hey, man, we're looking up to you, en serio. And you got a big plate right now, and that plate is 95% full.
It's pretty crazy.
This
last year's been real nuts working on this show, and I think it's definitely the biggest event or the biggest thing that I've ever worked on or been a part of or major part of.
For the lames who don't know exactly who you are, Bobby Ruiz, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Bobby Ruiz, aka Bobby Tribe. I'm the co-founder. My brother and I founded Tribal Streetwear back in 1989. We're an international streetwear brand. We're the OG streetwear brand. I can't tell you of any other streetwear brand that's been around as long as we have, other than maybe Stussy, but Stussy doesn't have the street cred. They're not really actively involved in the culture.
Ooze the street cred, bro. It oozes out of every pore in your system.
As cliche and corny as it may sound, we've always kept it real, and we represent, collectively who we are, and we always participate, in the cultures. Not, I'm older now, but, I still support, all the things that the brand represents. And then, the younger cats that are in the clique are out there putting in work. And
so you're passing the baton down pretty much. You still oversee everything that goes on, but
pretty much, yeah. I'm still there on the daily, but I've got a great crew, and my boys are working with me, and Herman Plasencia, and just everybody in the building. So
dude, that headquarters is amazing.
It's cool.
That headquarters is awesome,
like a giant man cave,
It is, bro.
we have a blast there. We have a good time, and I don't know. I think that one thing that I feel real blessed about is the network and the contributors throughout the last 30, almost 34 years, and everything that we've been able to do through that network. Not just the 4 elements of hip hop and low riding and tattoos and just every graffiti, street art, just everything, man. That's, the whole tattoo culture, car culture, everything, bro. It's like, it is what it is. And this show that we're working on now, Street Legacy, which opens this Saturday at California Center for the Arts in Escondido, it all comes together. And it comes together in the biggest way that we could bring it together. And it's the best of Southern California, the best street artists, graffiti writers, tattoo artists from Southern California, Los Angeles, and San Diego. Not just what's going on in the museum, but what's going on in the car show. And we got food trucks and DJs and beer gardens and stuff like that. So
before we get too lost in this epic project, who's the fucking bodyguard you brought with you today, man? Who's this guy, man? He's giving me a look like, say the right thing. I was like, all right, fuck.
Was he looking at me too?
One eye was at you, one eye was at me. Yeah. And I was like, all right, man, I'll keep it together.
I've known David de Baca.
David de Baca.
Yeah, he's from down here in the South Bay, I guess. Still
Paradise Hills.
Paradise Hills, nice. Rio Drive.
A good friend of mine who's also always been active in the art community and low riding as long as I have and things like that. So David has always helped me out with different projects and he helps out a lot, man. Like I can't do these projects or do these sort of events without a crew and people that are down and people that are willing to like.
One of the main things I've learned from you is you told me from the get is like surround yourself with people you trust. Surround yourself with people who are going to help elevate what you're doing. You got to trim the fat. Yeah, get rid of the lames because they'll bring you down, man.
That's right. And you kind of figure out who's who. But David's been around for a long time. Like I said, he's real sharp.
Now he's grinning. There he is.
Professional, and he's the man behind the whole Teen Angel thing.
Nice. So, heck yeah.
David runs that whole Teen Angel thing. He was that's a real long story, but he runs the whole Teen Angel trademark.
Everything you guys do is a long story, man. Because you've been in this game for decades, so there is no shortcut to where you guys got.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You guys have hustled. You've been grinding 30 plus years.
People think that the shortcut is social media and the internet and things like that, but you gotta, hit the streets and work the pavements and keep it moving and develop those relationships beyond just what's on your phone. I obviously everybody uses social media as a tool and it's fun sometimes, but I think there's, people get way too caught up in it and there's so much more to do outside of social media.
Yeah, you can't hide behind the screen, whether it's a phone or a laptop. You got to get out there and be in the streets because you just turn into a flash in the pan. There's so many youngsters out there coming out and doing their thing that you don't want to just become somebody else. But I mean, you guys have done it right, man. Pillars,
thank you, man.
Pillars of the community.
I really appreciate that, and it's only because of community that is that holds us up. That's the foundation of those pillars is the community and the contributors and just everybody who's been down for what we represent and what we do, not just here in California, but globally and what we've been able to do in other countries because we find those people not just in the United States but in other countries that have been down since the 90s.
And on Saturday, that comes full circle, my man. Saturday, that comes full circle. All the work and effort and everything, all the relationships that have curated throughout the years comes full circle and you get to put it all together in one project and put it on display for 2 months.
Yeah, man.
Tell me a little bit about that now.
The show, I've been working on this show everybody that's working on the show, I think about 1.5 years now. And another person I couldn't have done it without is my the co-curator, Jib Dation, he's a badass on another level.
Bro, anytime you tell me about him, that's the look you get. You kind of look like
man, I don't even know where to start with this. But, people think we're kind of it's kind of an odd friendship, or we're kind of like, how are you guys so close and you guys laugh so much and you guys, are able to do this cool show? It's because it's actually a perfect sort of relationship. Like he's able to open doors and he speaks a language that I don't speak with institutions. And he's he's highly educated. He's has multiple degrees, PhDs, master degrees. He's a Harvard grad, Columbia,
You
Boston,
need those dudes on the squad, man. You need those guys on the squad.
By all means. And people need to look beyond just their neighborhood to, and
it's not just brawn and good looks, man. You need the brains. You need somebody that knows how to get shit done.
Absolutely. And people that can help you get through those doors and speak the language of institutions and the government. And, I sit in meetings, and we were in a board meeting last week with people up in Escondido, and just to watch the way he controls just his dial, just the way he speaks and the way people listen, and he flexes those credentials, not like intentionally I'm gonna flex these credentials, but he just the way he is.
Don't trip on my Harvard degree. Watch where you step. Boom.
Yeah. But when he doesn't walk into a meeting and people, he puts that all on the table, but once he starts to do what he does, and he's an author, he's an art critic, he's he's written several books on street art. He's done books with Shepard Fairey and Kenny Scharf, and
so he's the man for the job.
TED Talks and the whole thing. So we became really good friends, and he's really helped out a lot. So I had to, I got to give him his due. But him and I we've worked on a couple projects, and I told him, man, because there's really no big museums in San Diego County that fit what we wanted to do, other than California Center for the Arts in Escondido. Like, where else is there where there's a big museum? and that was it.
How big is this museum? Because the way what you're describing to me and what you plan on putting in this museum, it sounds like it's grandiose. It's overwhelming.
It's a really, really good size museum, and there's easily over 100 artists. And these aren't little pieces, like little, there's a couple of little pieces here and there, but people did big installations, big pieces.
Specifically for this project or stuff that they've been curating throughout the years as well?
Majority of what's in the show was made specifically for this show. There are some pieces that you may be familiar with, but there's some mind-blowing shit in there.
What does that mean to you, man? Like
mind-blowing?
Like, what does that mean? All these people are creating these projects specifically for you and what you're putting on.
I'm not just, the man with the network. I'm a fan, man.
Mm-hmm. You can tell.
I'm a fan of my network, and I'm a fan of all these contributors, and people like Mir, the paintings that Mir did, what Risky did, the controversial, kind of not controversial to me, but what Slick did, what Cryptic did. You know what I mean? What OG Able.
Damn, these are all heavy hitter names you're dropping.
And then the local cats, Dice One, Chicle, and Ricardo, and so many, Jorge Gonzalez and Isaac Quesada, and
the whole spectrum.
The whole spectrum, bro. And the beauty of it is when we set out to do this project, nobody said no.
¿Quién te va a decir que no?
We got.
Who's gonna say no to you, Bobby?
We got a couple ghosts at the tail end of it. Like, people like, yeah. But I don't know. It's because they didn't know what to do, or they didn't like what they were working on, or they just
intimidated. Maybe
it could possibly be that. But
looking at the poster and looking at the names on that poster, it's easy to be like, oh shit.
Yeah, but for that reason too, a lot of these dudes took it to the max. Like they know, oh shit, I got a show next to Chuy Quintanar, or I need to show next to this dude, or Esteban Oriol, or Cartoon, or whoever it was. I gotta bring my.
Slide those names in there like nothing.
I gotta bring my A game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bring your A game or don't bring a game.
He speaks, and when he speaks, he flexes. Hell yeah! Say way.
No, I heard Bobby say right now that this is a show he's been working on for a year, but the honest truth is that Bobby's been putting this together for over 30 years, based on relationships.
His network,
artists, rappers, tattoo artists, lowriders, and so it's a culmination of these relationships that have been based on a foundation that started over 30 years ago.
I just met Bobby a year ago, bro.
Right.
I just legitimately met Bobby a year ago. I've known about Bobby for many years, but I just met him and I felt like I've known him. Why? Because he's very welcoming. He's very soft-spoken, but when he speaks to you, there's meaning behind it. So he's not just yanking your chain. Yeah, come along. Woo, woo, woo. It's like he's a man with a plan, and this is just testament to what he's doing.
Right. And so there's a lot of younger people that have galleries or artists, but they haven't put in the time that it takes to build these relationships. And that's how Bobby's able to bring in Fonzie, Mr. Cartoon, OG Able, because these are his friends.
Yeah.
They're not just
names on a
awesome
poster.
Artists.
Yeah.
These are friendships that he's had for over 30 years.
It makes it personal, man.
Yeah, it's very
so
personal.
when they get invited, they're bringing it all.
Yeah. They're bringing love.
No half-stepping. They're bringing everything.
Yes, that's correct.
Nice,
you got it, man.
That's what it is, I guess,
Right.
But it's
everyone's always talking you up. Look at you.
For lack of a better word, it's a beautiful thing, and I'm going to say it again, bro. It's like it's not about me. It's never been about me. It's always been about everybody. The contributors, the supporters, the people that believe in the brand. Just everybody. Everybody who's down with what we do and is feeling it, and it's a beautiful thing. It really is. Like, just and I know that a lot of these guys, everybody, it's a network, and they don't just know me, they know each other. So even now, and COVID we're out of COVID, we've been out of COVID for a minute, but no one's done an art show of this caliber.
Any show.
I didn't want to say that, but
any fucking show, man. Real talk. I mean, this is
it's no one's. I mean, I was talking to Abel this morning, and he kind of said that. He goes, no one could do this. Like, no one could do this, and you're the only one who could possibly do this. But I think that's what I'm most proud of is the diversity of the show, the multiple styles of it. Not we got stuff that's like, the dudes from Venice are doing some real punk rock shit, or Robbie Canal came in and do these skeletal surfers, and we've got surfboards in the show, and we've got, lowrider parts. Like there's a hood, there's the Mercado. There's all kinds of shit in there. So when you walk around this show, you're going to see like, this is Southern California. This represents who we are. And it's not just, and you and I have had this conversation before, Steve, was like, you grew up down here and you were exposed to so many different things, and people always have a tendency to put you in this box. But the reality is we're into you were just telling me about your C10, and I know you were into punk rock. And
yeah, man. Look at my huaraches, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'll be welcome in Escondido wearing these huaraches, but down here it's just like woo shit. I walk down the block and
we have the barrios up there too. Oh, yeah, we've got neighborhoods up there, but I think
people underestimate border towns and exactly what we're about.
Exactly,
David can speak to it. He's from Paradise Hills,
from Southern California
as a whole. Yeah.
So this is kind of, there's some photography in there that you're gonna look at it, and some stuff that Craig Stesick did. Craig Stesick's a great friend of mine too, who basically changed the face of skateboarding with what he did with In Search of Animal Chin, Bones Brigade. What he did with the Z Boys and Dogtown, and then
fucking legends,
going into Pau Peralta and things like that. So, but that whole movement back then, if you look at not just what people like Jay Adams and Dogtown were doing, or the kids in Venice, you look at their old school graphics, it's all gangster shit, chicanada, low riding. They were wearing Dickies and Pendletons, and like what Suicidal does. And a lot of us who grew up in the neighborhoods low riding, we were skating. You know what I mean? But people don't really want to,
they don't want to recognize it.
Yeah.
No, man. There's a little foo in everybody in this community, but not a lot of rocker foo in everybody. Right. You know what I mean?
Listening
but I feel it's
to certain, not listening to just funk, soul, and oldies. We're listening to ska and reggae,
surf rock, punk
music,
rock, todo, bro. Todo, hip hop, everything.
Right, everything.
Norteños, corridos, banda. Oh, shit. I crossed the border.
You did.
My bad. Let me bring it back.
Norteños, corridos, y lost me with the banda, but I'm good.
Oh, you told me about that when you're at home. You got a neighbor that blasts banda all the time, huh? Just go over there. Give in, bro. You can't beat him. Join him. I got some boots. What size? What you need?
I just can't do it. But I love a trio. I love mariachi. I love norteño.
Because you're old school, bro.
Yeah, but anyway, so beyond that, it's and it's a free event.
Listen closely.
Free
event. A free event.
So people keep hitting me up. Where do I buy tickets? And that one thing that I forgot to post is that it's free.
Mm-hmm.
You could come and see the museum. You come and see the car show. You come, check out everything. Like I said, and it's free. It starts at 11 a.m. on Saturday up at California Center for the Arts. And
2 months long, Playboy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this yet, but
Oops.
it's no. I think it got extended till October.
Oh shit!
Sure, yeah,
man, I'm always looking to places to take the kids, and this is honestly for the summer before they go back to school. Wife and I were talking over. It's like, this is it.
Yeah,
I feel like this is the spot that we're gonna go take them and open them up. They're little, tan chiquitos, niños, bro. They're like 9, 8, and 4. Yeah. But I feel like it's time to expose them to this kind of,
it's. I think this weekend's gonna be cool. There's gonna be a lot of people. But since the show runs, you might want to have quiet time in the museum with the kids and really talk about the pieces and go through the pieces and explain some stuff, because there's a lot to look at.
Take me through the day at the museum. Like, what should a visitor expect when I get there? What I'm going to do? Where should I go? What am I in for?
Well, it depends on which way you come in. If you come in by the food trucks, you come through over the bridge. There's a couple new pieces that Carly and Chris Konecki are painting, and Wheat, who's a homie of ours that came in from France. So if you come in through the parking lot, you're going to see that. And if you go into the museum, there's, what do you want? Names? Can
you get it done in one day? Can you get through the whole?
Yeah.
You could?
Yeah,
all right.
Easily. It depends on you could, there's a painting in there that I continually stare at, and I'm always seeing new shit.
Yeah.
And it's, but there's new pieces like Shepherd Ferry did a really, really nice installation for us. And I'm like I said, I'm a fan. I'm a fan, and I think
that's what makes it special.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in is when the Willy Wonka, the Wizard of Oz behind the curtains, is a fan of what he's actually putting on and producing and displaying for everyone to come see. El Willy Wonka de todo el pedo.
Nah.
It makes it exciting as a guest to want to go and be a part of it.
It's pretty cool, man. Like, and I like I said, like it's these dudes, like just to work with them or have them in the show.
How stressed have you been leading up to Saturday?
I'm less stressed now.
Yeah,
because I see everything came
together. It's all good.
Together, everything's pretty much hung. I always tell my wife that what I look forward to is obviously the events, but what I even look more forward to is the day after. So my day where I'm hoping and I'm praying that everything goes well is Sunday morning. After Friday night, after the event Saturday, after I make it through everything.
El cafecito, el chorizo con huevo, el vato just reading the paper.
Sitting in the backyard with my cup of coffee early in the morning and just kind of reflecting on everything.
That is a successful event for you.
Yeah.
The next day, reflecting on what went on opening night.
And hopefully you're not going like, fuck, man, I wish I wouldn't have, how'd that happen?
I wish I wouldn't have drank so much.
Yeah.
Yes, will there be liquor on site?
Yeah, there's going to have, there is going to be 2 gardens. There will be beer and there will be a bar.
All right.
They'll be making different types of cocktails and things like that. But, yeah, and it's a free event, thanks to our sponsors and people. That
list them off, man. Make them happy.
Modelo.
Damn, all right.
Modelo, Kick Down, Monster Energy, Liquid Death.
Heavy hitter.
Yeah, it's and then, just different, real estate companies and contributors to the museum and donors and things like that. But there is, I realize there's going to be fires, and this is something I learned from Jim, because before when there, it'd be fires, I'd stress out a little bit, and sometimes I take them a little too seriously. But I've learned from him is, it's fine. They're coming. We'll just get through them, and everything's going to be fine. So, little bit of a controversial piece in there that Slick did.
Tell me about that. You mentioned it earlier when you're going over some of the artists.
It's just a parody. It's a parody, and I kind of don't want to talk too much on it because people get tripped out, but it's a jab. Everybody takes jabs. Chicanos take jabs. Black people take jabs. Cops take jabs. Whoever it is, we all take jabs. And
we don't come from a thin-skinned community.
Oh, hell
we
no.
dish it, so you better fucking take it.
Right. And we live in a community where you got to have, a little bit of a thick skin. And there's some images, and not just, the one that the people, there's several images that people might think are just depending on their perspective and depending on how they view art and depending on how they view freedom of speech. And
that's what you want in art, though.
Absolutely.
I feel like art shouldn't be one-dimensional.
I agree. There's going to be some pieces in there that you'll
thought-provoking.
Like, oh, shit. Or
se pasó de Winnie aquí este artista. But I like it.
Se pasó de Winnie. This guy comes up with some shit, bro.
You never heard that shit, bro?
I probably heard you say
se pasó de Winnie el vato.
He comes up with all kinds of good ones.
Border town mentality, man. That's all we know. We mix it all up.
That's what it is. But no, it's I think we all want to share this with everybody. And the 25th is the day because it's free. But obviously, if you can't make it on the 25th, cruise up there. If you don't got nothing to do during the weekend or whatever, but the show's going to run in the museum. The only thing that won't be there is the car show.
The car show will solely be on the 25th.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it looks like, I'm not sure if I could say this yet.
Say it all, man. Go ahead.
It looks like, I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Ooh.
But it looks like in August, towards the end of August, we got Frankie Quinones in the theater. Yeah.
Cholo Fit Creeper.
I said that, so hopefully I don't get in trouble. But it looks like it's gonna happen. So Frankie's a good friend, so I don't think he'll be mad.
I heard him on your podcast, man. He's fucking funny. He's sharp. He's sharp.
He's a real dude.
Yeah.
He's real. You could tell, it's kind of like George Lopez. When you listen to George Lopez, he's a real motherfucker. Like, you know that he's from the neighborhood. He
got punked, and he did some punking, and now he's
Chicano,
like
from the neighborhood.
Thick skin.
And the way that he speaks and the subject matter and kind of like yourself, you could tell who people are. And
I think that's one of our special powers. If we were X-Men, our special power is we see through the shit, bro. We see through the bullshit, and it's like, oh, you're just faking the funk. Yeah. You're not real.
Oh,
you're not real.
And those are the lames que se van.
Yeah. You sift those through and they fall through. Or you
find a place for them and you kind of build them. Because there's some people, I think, that come around the community, our community, your community, and you see potential and you see that, we could work with this. We could work with this. And there's a lot.
If you can harness it, if you can harness that energy and what they're doing, like, all right, cool.
There's a lot of youngsters in the building that I work with. early 20s that, I and it's cool because they respect what I ask of them and they respect my word. And I'm telling them, like, I'm not doing this shit for me, bro.
No.
I'm trying to tell you, like, don't smoke weed all day and work. It's going to come out in your work and you're burnt out and look at your environment, like whatever it is, or, you're artist, but I'm nothing against smoking weed because I do what I do, but,
what do you do?
Mostly edibles.
Ese weed.
I like edibles.
How strong?
Not strong. I use them to sleep.
Over, under,
And then
25.
I also like THC, liquid THC.
Okay.
In a dropper. I just put it in like a beer.
Abajito de la lengua.
No, I'm in a beer or a seltzer or something. But the right amount, because you do too many drops and
How do you know what the right amount is?
Experimentation.
Yeah?
Like you do one too many. Like fuck, I back that one off.
Have you ever done edibles or any sort of cannabis with your sons?
No, they do it with themselves.
Yeah. Solito in the room con la puerta cerrada.
My son Isaac, I know he still smokes. Bobo went through his period, and he was into it big, and then all of a sudden, boom, he was done. The musician.
It happens.
Yeah, he was over it.
You find different inspiration.
I think he didn't like, maybe the lack of focus.
Okay.
Or just being.
It works different for everybody.
But it was cool because my boys are adults. That first and foremost. So
that's awesome too, bro.
And I think it's real cool. I'm not telling him to hide it from me, and you guys do your thing. Like, just don't smoke in the house. Go smoke in the backyard, and they're home, and that they're adults. I can't tell them don't smoke.
I'm 43, and I just for the first time last weekend, like, I had an edible with my pops. And I come from a family where they're first generation here. Well, no, they were born in Mexico y lo vinieron para acá.
Yeah.
And so he bro, at least to my face. Because we grew up, had a lot of parties at the house, and shit would always be left over. And then shit would always disappear. When my parents got home, I was like, where'd it go? Like, so I don't know if they disposed of it or they disposed of it. But it was gone. So this weekend, my dad was like, mijo, dame una pinche gomita. And I was like, all right, what you want? He's like, es que me siento aquí ansioso. I was like, all right. So I gave him a 10 milligram, bro.
¿De cuál?
Just a 10 milligram edible. It was an indica, So, that'll knock you out, especially if you've never done it. My dad is 69 this year, and allegedly he's never done it. So they went out for the day, and my mom and my sister, they all start calling me. Phone starts blowing up, sending me texts. My sister, hey, the fuck you give my dad? I was like, I guess. I was like, why? It's like, we're having brunch, and this fool's like tripping out anytime somebody comes into the restaurant. He thinks everyone's looking at him. Then my mom calls me like, the police came in, and your dad thought they were after him. I was like, ni que fuera el Chapo, este dude, like, relax, bro. Like, but I feel like that's where we are now.
Yeah.
That's where our community is. That's where we are as a culture, I feel. Because I like to talk to elders like yourself who have adult children. Yeah, son adultos, bro. They're on their own. They got their own hustle. They got their own game. I think, and how I'm going to be as a dad to my kids, because my kids are still little, and it's weird because I reflect on that and how my dad is with me. I feel like that we've seen the transition, and all of this, man, is a part of our culture now.
I think it is, and one thing I tell people, and my dad, my parents, I have great parents, and my dad, both my parents, they did their best, and here I am, but there's no perfect formula for kids, bro. Everybody's different. If I would have tried some of the tactics that my dad used on my brother, my sister, and I to my sons, fuck.
It might have backfired.
Yeah. Oh, that shit wouldn't have worked at all. You know what I mean? But it worked for me. But I think it's it's tough and just having that communication with them. But my dad's 80, he'll be 84 this month, and he eats edibles every day.
En serio?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I turned him on to gummies, so he uses them.
5 milligrams, 10 milligrams?
He does, I don't know the milligrams. I know the brand, and they're the Camino gummies.
Okay, the ones, the little tin?
Yeah, the round tin.
If you get too fucked up, you can't open them. You're like,
yeah, he uses the one. There's one that's called Chill. Mm-hmm. He uses that one in the day, and then he uses the sleep one at night, and that's the one I use at night too, the sleep one. But I take either a half or a quarter. If I take a whole one of those, it's mucho. I'll wake up.
Start talking in cursive.
No, I just wake. Yeah.
You're like,
or I wake up and instead of putting me to sleep, I wake up and start tripping. I can't go back to sleep. So
it doesn't motivate you when you start tripping. Does it like make you like start doing new things or?
Yeah, I mean, but I don't. It used to more, but I've got a lot of responsibility during the day, and I have to deal with a lot of people, so I don't like to be high during the day.
You are a difficult man to nail down.
It motivates him to curl up in a ball and cry.
I'll tell you the trick is travel with me.
Yeah.
That's where I let loose a little bit, and I get a little bit of space, and I can clear my head, and that's where I reset.
Let's talk about that in traveling. You do travel a lot.
Yeah.
When you go out with your clique, with your crew, with your squad, do you see certain aspects of what you've created over the decades in the streets of these towns that you're out there visiting?
Yeah, occasionally.
And how fucking weird is that, Bobby?
It's a trip, bro.
I don't doubt it.
It's humbling, you know, and sometimes like I was, you know, I've seen some shit that it was pretty trippy, like, you know, going in Manila and seeing these, not exaggerating, maybe 50-foot high LED screens with, you know, tribal logos and tribal ads and being in, you know, whatever country it is. And it doesn't register with me, I think, the way it may register with some people, because I don't know. I'm not that guy. You're not seeing me taking pictures and posting 50 pictures of this thing and like, fuck, look at this. I'm like, maybe I'll post a pic of it and it is what it is. And I keep it moving. I don't let it spoil me or, you know, affect my hustle or recognize.
It shouldn't derail you.
And I always, and I'm going to go back to this because it's so important. And as I always understand that that's cool, but that ain't me. That's all of us. That's everybody that's contributed. That's everybody that's rocked it.
You harp on that hard, man.
The truth,
always.
It's the truth. It's the absolute truth.
I think that's what makes your story what it is.
Yeah,
your successes is based on it's not me, it's us. And
being polite and being trying to be a gentleman when I can, and those relationships. And I tell my kids that it's just basic mannerism. It's just being a pleasant person and not being a dick and using those basic manners. And people appreciate that, especially as you grow older. You know, is just the real basic shit. And you know,
favorite place to visit.
That's a tough one. I have a special place in my heart, not because of all the weed and shit like that. I love Amsterdam.
All right.
I'd really like to spend a lot more time there. And I've been there quite a few times.
You ran into one of my cousins there.
I did.
Yeah, he just came into town last week and he was like, hey, ¿qué onda con el Bobby? And I was like,
I love it there. I'm very, very comfortable there. I'm really, my second neighborhood, I'd say, is this neighborhood in Tokyo called Shibuya. I've spent a lot of time there. There's these little islands.
What a scene over there, bro. It's insane. What a fucking crazy scene over there.
And I think it's because I'm very comfortable there. Like, I know where to eat. I know where to drink. I know where to, you know, go get groceries. I know how to speak the language enough.
Culturally speaking, they look like us over there.
A lot of them.
They procured what you've created, part of, like I say you, because I mean, when I think of Southern California culture, obviously tribal is a major piece as it relates to music, art, lowriders, everything.
Yeah. And you know, the
lifestyle.
The thing about social media, it's making the world a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Where I think, you know, before they were stuck in this, everybody in Southern California is a cholo wearing Dickies and Pendletons and, you know, like being like that OG, you know, cholo stuff. But now they're seeing like, nah, they're wearing Vans and Levi's and there's no creases and they're
Huaraches piteados.
Yeah, all of that. So there's a lot of normality that's kind of here, and even if, you know, David and I have been to Japan a couple times together and we're going to car shows and stuff, and the OGs are just the dudes that are building their cars. They're just like us. And one thing that I learned real early on was anywhere in the world, like, there's some real respected people out there, and I won't go into that, but some really respected people. We're their Chicano friends from Southern California with tattoos and lowriders and you know, the streetwear brand, and they're our Japanese homies that are into what they're into. Yeah. But we have this mutual respect because they get bragging rights about us,
about you guys,
and we get bragging rights about the shit that they show us.
But then you don't tell anybody. You just kind of keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. You know, you can. But
I've seen the documentaries. Yeah. I've seen everything over there. It just looks awesome.
Yeah.
That's definitely a spot that I want to go visit. Yeah. You know, I'd love to go visit.
There's so much, bro. Like there's these little islands off the Philippines, like I was saying. In Manila, we've got great people in the Philippines, and the little islands, you know, I went to this one called Palawan that was beautiful, and Boracay and Bohol and Puerto Galera and all these really beautiful places there. There's some really beautiful places there. But like I said, I don't know. I don't want to.
Some people write books about all of this, like a memoir, you know, like, oh, these are the things that I've done. These are my accomplishments. These are some of my greatest goals. That's what I was going to ask. But in a way, do you feel like your art, what we're putting on, street legacy, It's kind of an homage to everything that you've done over the last 3 decades.
To this point, yeah. I mean,
Imagine looking back.
Here's a way I look at these things. Like a couple weeks ago, just fucking stress, bro. You're working with over 100 artists, trying to put this car show together, trying to work with, the institution that it is at the museum, trying to, make sure everything's cool with the pad, and then trying to work on the tribal stuff and keeping everything going. And I'm like, and I did this at the last show. Fuck this. I ain't doing this again. This is some bullshit. Like, what am I doing? Like, fuck. And now being so close to the show and seeing it all come together, I don't feel so much that way, but it's stressful. And sometimes like, I ain't doing this again, man. Like this, but Jim and I had lunch today, and I'm like, fuck, what would be real sick is to do an international.
I was going to say, take the show on the road.
Like right now we're Southern California, but it would be pretty, not going to say it'll be easy, but I have the network in Europe, and I have the network in Australia, and I have the network in Asia where I can pull artists from different parts of the world and do something.
Yeah, wait, relájate, bro.
Yeah.
Relax.
But then again, I'm gonna go back to the team. I would have to put a team together. I would have to put a crew together, and
you have the blueprint.
I do.
You have the template.
I have some. Fuck, man. And again, a blessing. I have some amazing, talented people in those places that would be down to do something, and it's just finding a way to do it where you're not going to lose money, and if you can make some money, cool. But if you could break even, that's cool too. But
that's a victory in itself.
You want to at least cover some costs and at least your time, and nothing crazy. But there is potential to do more of a national one or an international one, or get this show to move. I know for a fact if this show went to New York, they would flip, because I've curated a show in New York. Did you go to Left to Right?
No,
I did a show in New York called Left to Right, and which was, you get it. You get it. So, fuck, dude. Capacity in like 15 minutes. I did it with the homie Luke Westman, and we did it at the Worcester Social Club, a smaller show, but people were so hungry for the West Coast shit out there.
What is it that you guys have created out here for us in the West Coast that people are so hungry for? I bring up Japan. I feel like they really encapsulated our culture and took it with them.
Is, bro, is it's not what we've created. It's who we are collectively. Like,
you just put it on a platform.
Yeah, I'm just like, check it out.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. Like, just here it is. Check it out. Like, this is, these are our cars. These are our tattoos. These are the tattoo artists. These are our street artists. And
that's what I think is awesome about your headquarters, bro. You just took everything that you are, everything that you love, and then you just fucking said, Sas, I'm going to put it here.
That wasn't intentional. That was organic.
That's the only way it grows. That's the only way it happens.
And it's weird because, like, for example, Jason Carney had a small skate shop up in Ramona, and he was getting kicked out. And, I was like, fuck, bro, I got this little garage
Come
right
on
here.
down.
You want to, like, I can cut you a killer deal, and you could just see if it works right here. And boom, Slappy's Garage is one of the hottest skate shops in San Diego. Mm-hmm. It blew the fuck up. And then, artistic and just everything just kind of, it just happened. It was just something that was organic, because those are our friends. Those are our people. And if we could, it's what, you're going the same route. Like, you've got a great network of people around you, and I'm sure it's going to turn into something amazing, because that's who you are.
No pressure, huh?
I see it, Holmes. Like, I see your shit, bro. Like, and I've told you this before. It's like, real recognize real, however cliche you want to put it, is you see who's doing what, and who's focused, and who's making moves. And beyond that, you guys are really into the philanthropy, and that's very respectable, and giving back to the community.
Well, we appreciate your support that you've given us a lot, man. Your support comes in many fashions, many ways, many forms, whether I'm just listening to your podcast, whether we're admiring what you've done as it relates to your brand, whether introducing the people in your network, all of that, man. It means a lot to us because we're new in this game. I appreciate
that. But I'll tell you what I want to do next.
Oof, go ahead.
Nothing.
Right?
I do. I love the outdoors. Like, I go... I grew up hunting in South Texas and being on ranches and shit like that. So people don't know that about me, but I love being, on the rancho.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Listening to banda?
No. Fuck no. We listen, whatever it is.
Freddie Fender.
Getting up in the morning and before dawn, sitting in a blind and out,
Do you have a pad down in South Texas?
I have a lot of primos out there.
Yeah.
That good family and good food and good.
So whenever you want, you can just dip and go visit and lose yourself.
Oh yeah, man. And they come out here too, but it's that same thing, bro. Like we were talking about in Japan. It's like, well, those are my primos Tejanos, and I go out there and they give me the whole Tejano treatment, and I'm their primo in San Diego, and they come out here, they
give them the whole experience.
Yeah, and it's appreciated on both realms because they come out here and like, whoa, what's this? What's this? They don't have burritos out there, breakfast burritos. I bring them a big fucking breakfast burro. They're like, what's this?
Eat it.
Yeah, but just it's those types of things. But there's a lot more to it than just what you're seeing.
You're a man with many hobbies, bro. You haven't even touched on your cars.
I like naps.
Bobby and I get together.
Naps are awesome.
We used to just talk about Impalas and 48 fleet lines. Now we talk about Impalas, 48 fleet lines, and Mercedes motorhomes.
Yeah,
leveling up.
Just getting out. And
our conversations. Once we passed our mid 50s, now we start talking about.
Those are difficult to get right now. Those are things that as soon as they're out.
Mid-50s?
Yeah. Oh. No. You tell me, no set down. Those Mercedes like traveling vans. Those are
awesome. With the gas prices, I think it might. You never know. That shit might be coming down. But there's and I tell people this too, man. Look beyond. Like right now, all the obvious things are the things that we've already spoke about. But beyond that,
there's layers.
The United States is beautiful.
There's layers for sure.
Have you ever driven down the coast coming down from Monterey, or have you been to Utah to Zion? Things that are so close to us, the Grand Canyon, or parts of it, all over us. There's beautiful shit, and just going out to the desert and fumando un pinche leño and looking at the sky. Like
shit, I enjoy going to Tijuas now, bro.
That too.
It's a whole different world, and it's 5 minutes away.
Yeah,
there. With Sentry.
Vamos a ver.
Con el Sentry.
Con el Sentry,
you have
bro.
one?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Oh, Eric, you still have one? Oh, it's on.
I'm telling you, bro. We go down there, get some food. Where else can you go get a fat ass steaks, bucket of beers, $30? What? They're like, yeah, $30. All right, let's go.
Eric knows the spots too.
No, Eric.
Shout out to the homie Eric Casas.
Eric Casas, the God, and HK. Pura comida china, 24/7.
Yeah. See, I didn't.
Chato mañoso, bro.
Sheesh,
Jeez, bro. Show a little class, bro.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like and to be very, very honest, occasionally, I get a little. The scenes have changed a lot,
for better or for worse.
Depending on what scene you're
depending on the
about.
scene.
I mean, there's a lot of the lowrider scene that I'm just not feeling right now. That's why I like to do shows like this that are more curated, invitational type shows. There's I don't know. I don't want to get too heavy into that, but I have the 70s are never going to happen again. That was the shit. The 80s, se fue, it's gone. If you didn't live it, fuck it. That was beautiful. It's happening. Take from it what you want, but
new chapter.
You're not going to do it again. You're not going to do it again. That shit already happened. Do what you're doing now. Like, do your own shit. Think of some new next shit. Don't go back and try to live like people and do. I mean, you can, but only to a degree. But I think people get too stuck on, we're going to do it just like they did it. Well, why don't you do it like you did it? Like you could do it. Like, this is a whole new time. Develop some new shit. Let it grow. Like move on.
People want the quick success, like the quick gratification. Sometimes you got to put a little elbow grease into it. Sometimes you got to work a little hard to create something that is coming from you.
Right.
Not from something you saw. Oh, well, he did that and that was kind of cool. He did that and he got this much attention. He went viral for doing this. So then all of a sudden you get a lot of like copycats, duplicate replicas. It's like, no, man, just figure what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
some
go
people
with
want
that.
to emulate what happened in the past when they weren't around. So they just try to emulate a picture they saw.
And all you have is a shell. You don't have that soul. Yeah, exactly, man. And that's hard to do.
It is hard.
That's very hard to do.
You can't
so don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, that's it. I mean, I still love to watch, dudes skate and I don't go to shows as much as I used to, because I feel fucking old at some of the shows, but I still go to shows now and then. And
D-boys.
Yeah. I like it is what it is, but, fuck, next question.
June 25th, Street Legacy.
Hell yeah.
11 in the morning.
That's right.
Cruise through.
Free.
All the way free.
Yep.
All the way free.
Well, I mean, you got to pay for your beers.
Ya valió Winnie, bro.
There'll be some food trucks there.
Music. Will there be bands?
There'll be DJs.
All right, okay.
We wanted to do bands, but once again, it's, we're working within an institution there. there may be some events that happen throughout that 2-month period that we're working on that hopefully we can put together where there'll be some live music.
Because the work isn't over. Just because it's Saturday, it's an opening day.
Looking for a venue that can fill 1,500, 400. There's definitely some really cool theaters and places there where people could enjoy the museum and go to a show. That's kind of what we're trying to do with some comedy and it'll be a night of comedy and art and comedy. So you visit the museum. And
could this be a new little channel that you're doing? A new little project that's kind of like birth right now? Like you're saying, maybe a little comedy show, music venue?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Again, I'm going to tell you, like, it's
because your son plays music.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, you're connected into that music scene.
Yeah, but
you're connected with comedians.
Yeah. And it's a blessing. I think it's I'm finding myself wanting to do other shit and like I was saying, like kicking it in the backyard or smoking some carne or traveling or I need to start I think I want to be a little more adventurous and try doing some other shit that I haven't done or seen some things that I haven't seen. Traveling a little more locally,
getting out your comfort zone.
Yeah. And
growing.
And it is comfortable. I mean, the things that I'm trying to do are trying to slow down a little bit. But again, I mean, it isn't impossible. It could be as long as there's the right team. I can make the calls and people will answer the phone and I'm grateful for that. And then passing it like, hey, let's do this and just maybe not try to do it so much myself as work with people to make some shit happen. You know what I mean? Like
Bobby Tribal, dog. Look, he's right there, dog. Ask him a question, Casas. Don't be scared.
Oh, my man,
shit,
Casas, dude. We've asked each other questions.
Spin the bottle. Your turn. Truth or dare.
Yeah, nah. But así es.
I'm just proud of you, man. I'm proud to know you,
bro. Like what you guys do here is, fuck. Look, couldn't even find parking.
Yeah, I parked like 3 blocks away.
No
bro.
pasa nada. Get your steps in, bro. I see your iWatch, bro. Get the steps in, man. Close the rings. Close the rings.
No. But it's a nice place, packed bar. You're making moves. You're growing.
We're trying, man. I got mouths to feed.
But you see it. I see it. There's people that are making moves in San Diego and it's cool that we're all supportive and we could try to stay connected and that's the beauty of San Diego, bro. I mean, I don't hear it, but I don't see a lot of hate.
Okay. I feel you.
I don't see a lot of like, I see you do projects with other breweries.
Yeah.
You have relationships with other breweries.
I feel there's a lot of outside influence on creating drama and unnecessary beef.
Yeah.
With us, man, I got zero problems with anybody.
Yeah.
And again, it may be different from them looking at us.
Yeah.
But I try to do my best to operate by not screwing anybody and making sure we shake hands, look each other in the eye and say, all right, let's do this. My favorite brewery is Fall Brewing.
Yeah.
It's like,
those are good
what other industry can you go and be like, no, that's not a competitor. That's a homie.
Yeah.
That's a friend. We work with them,
There's enough for everybody.
Yeah. It's like, oh, do you ever feel intimidated having your brewery on the same block that 2 other breweries are and 3 other tasting rooms and food? And I'm like, nah, man, it turns our spot into not just necessarily a destination spot. Everybody comes and mobs it. It's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's go to 3 Point, have a beer. Let's go to Balboa Burger, let's have a burger, let's get some food. Let's go to Chill Vista Brew, let's have another beer. All right, now let's come back over here, I want some liquor. And then they round out and it's all of a sudden you went from going to one spot on 3rd Avenue to you spent your whole Saturday afternoon on 3rd Avenue. And then there's a band playing and you're here all night. And then they go home and they're like, you know what, that was fucking awesome. Chula Vista is awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't want Chula Vista to blow up that much. I kind of want Chula Vista to kind of stay where we're at and be like, all right, it's like, we're good like this. I'm starting to see outside interests, business ventures coming in here and kind of injecting themselves into the scene.
I think, and this is something about the Chicano culture, lowrider culture that I would tell people like growing up, and this kind of relates to what you're saying on another realm. It's like you have something and it's cool and you're growing and you don't get all the recognitions. Like when you just started here, you took some risk and you're like, hey, we got the cool shit. This is our lifestyle. This is what we do. It's the cool shit. It's the coolest shit. Our shit's the coolest shit. And then when people start to recognize it too much, they're like, oh, and they start trying to emulate it or be like you or
you get the wish version.
What you're doing. They're like, whoa. But it's still our shit. Like don't come in and do too much and try to do shit that you really don't understand or have a right to do.
Did you see a lot of that growing up with your business and your brands?
I did.
Yeah?
I did.
What happened to those people?
They're gone.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Quick cash grab. And then all of a sudden it's like.
Yeah. I got respect for Stussy, and I do have a lot of respect for the older skate brands. Santa Cruz, Pau Peralta, things like that, Dogtown. Stussy's cool, but like I said, like, to me, streetwear, you have to have some street cred, and you have to be able to, contribute to these cultures that you're marketing. People out there doing all these hip hop ads and this and that. When's the last time you supported a hip hop event? Or what DJs are down with you? What hip hop bands do you fuck with? Or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how real is your shit? Like the reality of what you represent.
Yeah, I think Bobby's success in tribal has never been about money. It's been about his passion for the street culture, for Southern California, for growing up, where he grew up. And the
integrity is forever.
Integrity. And it's
integrity is
passionate,
forever. Yeah.
It's like he could shut down tribal tomorrow, but his passion will never die for tattoo culture, for skate culture, for lowriders, for art. That's just
because that's who he is.
I might not prioritize it. Like that's what I'm saying. Like earlier, like I still love it, but I need to. I'm that type of person. Like I've always had, and I think we've talked about this before. Like not ADD, but kind of like, fuck, let me check this out. What's this about?
Yeah.
Or let me listen to this. Or fuck yeah, you know what? Let me try doing. Let me go try the surf thing. Let me go try surfing, or let me skate, like, or whatever it is. Like, hey, no, I'm. Yeah, I have a lowrider, but I like Van Halen.
What's up?
You know what I mean? Or whatever. Or whatever it is.
Bro.
Whatever it is. So I still feel like that. Like, oh shit. Like I really want to, dig further into Utah. I want to Colorado's beautiful. I want to know more about Colorado. I want to go to Colorado and learn, see more sights and experience more things. And
what's up with this memoir you were telling me, bro?
It could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been working. There's 2 books in the work. I think I may have mentioned that our last podcast. There's an academic book, and that one's almost done. Jim is one of the authors. There's 13 authors. They're all academics, PhDs that are doing their different perspectives on the brand and what tribal has done, and it's kind of.
It's an institution, dude.
I don't like to use this word, but they're saying that it's like a phenomenon. Like no one's done anything like this before and done shit like this, whatever it is. But there's an academic book coming, and that I have a lot of. I'm really proud of that because, I'm doing like a coffee table style book, and that's pretty easy to do. You just put all your graphics and photos in a book, and boom, sale. But an academic book, people globally are going to be studying what.
Looking into it.
Yeah, looking into
dissecting
brand, looking into, what I've done, maybe, and what the brand has accomplished, and pave some ways for other brands or companies or whatever it is. So the academic book is really exciting, and there's some really, really cool contributors to that book, all professors. And that book's, like I said, it's pretty much done. We were trying to have it ready for this show, but it didn't make it. And actually Jim's and some other authors are actually going to include this show in the piece.
Parts of the piece. Nice.
And then I've been working on a book with mostly graphics and photography and, what tribe, the products and things that we've produced over the last, I'm hoping to release it in the 35th year, but, and then I'm writing. I'm writing a bunch of stuff for it too.
You journal or?
I have some stuff I've been writing over the last 10 years. Just about, things I've experienced, my upbringing and hopefully but books, dude, it's like, yeah, you want to do a book and people are talking about books, but how many people are buying books?
Oh, dude, I got Audible credits. You know every month I get a new credit and I download a new book.
But a tangible book.
Yeah.
Like I want something like, people you put right here on this table and people are going to be like, oh, let me check this out.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of book, but it's like,
I have books of people who inspire me. So I have books like that, like actual, like if I want to just listen to somebody tell the story, I'll download it.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody I look up to and admire and they invoke like, oh, I want to be better, I want to do what they're doing, I'll buy the actual book.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you're going to see your successes with this channel of a project with books. It's like you reach out and you look like us.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people that look like us are doing what you're doing on a global level.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's awesome that you're taking the time to set aside experiences and work with authors and work with intellectuals who are going to be able to manifest that into an actual book.
Right.
And people can look into it and be like, oh, wow, this is the blueprint.
Right.
This is how he did it. This is how it worked for him.
It could be.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
know?
it was a different time period.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like what we were saying earlier. There's no perfect formula. It was a blueprint for then. And then going back again, it's like prior to social media, we did a lot of, VHS tapes and promotional videos. And we exposed the world to a lot of stuff that they had never seen before. Hip hop culture, tattoos, lowriders, and people in, China.
Put us on the global stage, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
People passing around a videotape, and because it wasn't on TV, it wasn't on social media. You couldn't see. There was no social media.
Yeah, the tribal videos were pre-Instagram, pre-Facebook, pre-MySpace.
Not 1 minute reels, not 30-second reels.
If you went to Japan or Europe and you saw, can you imagine one of them getting a hold of a DVD, the tribal, video, and just being blown away by the cars, and they were always fast and high impact and good music, and they were just. They had an impact on us, and we were from here.
And you're from here. You're like, wait a minute,
imagine somebody seeing it for the first time, like, damn, freaking
wig flipped. They're like,
Southern
oh my God, I gotta get down there.
Up.
Yeah, I gotta move down there.
And that's kind of like the show. The beauty of this show is, this is Bobby Tribal's 4th legacy show, right, Bobby? Yeah. So I've helped him with each show, but they all have been one-day events. So the beauty of this one is going to be on Saturday. You get this grand opening with, DJs, lowriders. You get to see the art, food vendors, beer, liquor. And so you're going to take in the whole event. And it's going to be all, it's a fast pace. You're going to see a lot. But then the beauty of this show is I could come back 2 weeks later and walk through the museum and really
just run it back and soak it all in the real.
So there's kind of 2 events happening.
Yeah.
You got the opening. That's going to be, music, a lot of people.
A lot of shaking hands, a lot of kissing babies for the boss over there, man.
A little bit of hiding, too.
And then you got, you could come back for the next couple months and really take your time, because I know after this, I'll spend 5 hours on Saturday enjoying it, seeing all my friends, all my homies, all the Chicanada and the skaters and lowriders, it all come together as one. But I'm going to spend 5 hours there 2 weeks later just by myself. And
doing it again, soaking it all in.
Yeah. So this is a legacy show like no other, where it's going to be continuous.
Hell yeah.
And then throughout those few months, there'll be some other venues happening, some other shows. Yeah.
On the family front, bro, how do they react to everything you've done? The kids specifically, wifey specifically, because she's been there from day one.
She's the shit, dude. Like I've been married almost 34 years now, and she's my rock. She's the one that I have Chicana. Like, you get your ass home. You know what I mean? Like, but she's also very supportive, and like today I've been working on this. I'm also debuting a car at this show that I've been working on for the last 8 years. And she hadn't seen it. She knew about it, and she didn't know too much about it. And I'm like, fuck, what's she gonna think? So it got delivered to the pad today. It's a 47 Fleet Line. And I'm like, fuck, she's going to look at it and go, she loved it. She was like, oh, this is great. And, she's an amazing mom, amazing cook, just amazing friend. And she's super cool. Yeah. Marriage is, it's work.
She's as much responsible for your success as you are, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there was a point, a long time ago, when I had my partner, Carl Ariano, and he's like, man, imagine, if we were traveling and we could just keep traveling and we didn't have to go home and we weren't married. I go, bro, if we weren't married, we wouldn't be in this position.
No way.
There's no way, because they make us go home, and we have responsibility and love for our family and love for our kids and balance. Yeah. So, it is what it is, like in that regards, but I've there's no perfect formula. My kids they get along extremely well with each other. I have good relationships with them, but it's the same as a marriage. It's work, and you have to put the work in, and it's, you spoil your kids, and I've probably spoiled my kids, but my kids are working, and I do whatever I can to keep them good, but they're good kids. All three of my kids are great kids. I'm blessed. Like my daughter's, she's a shit. She just, she got a new jale. She was working
Con the Justin,
yeah. But she just got a job at Rockstar Games.
And I was with Justin, I guess, when she called and told him, and he's like, "Oh, that was job."
Dude, that was no small task. Like getting that job, it was like 6 interviews and back and forth.
It's Rockstar. It's Rockstar, bro.
Yeah, so she landed that, so I'm proud of her for that. And then Bobo's he's the musician, he's a student, and he works with me at Tribal. And Isaac has his own brand, the Silk Cloud. He works with me too. So
I'm gonna get him on the podcast when we open up down there.
They're good kids, man. They're really, really good kids. And I don't ever push them to be into what I'm into. I cannot expect my kids to do me or to be me. I can't. Tribal's there. If you guys want to do it, cool. If you don't want to do it, that's cool too. I can't expect you to live your life the way that, if you want to do something else, by all means, do it. If you're passionate about, whatever it is, get it. I can't expect them to. And if they want to do it, that's cool. If they don't want to do it, pues ni modo. Fuck it.
I learned a lot about you today, man. Just when I think I know a lot of, I was like, oh shit, a new layer. I peeled back a new layer on Bobby Tribal today, man.
There it is.
Yeah, I've been going to Bobby's house since his kids were little, and just to see them evolve. I mean, just going into his home.
That must be a trip too for you to see all that.
And his kids have always been just great kids, and like he said, they kind of do their own thing, and he gives them this liberty to be themselves and not really kind of point them in any certain direction, but just be there as a father, overseeing them, making sure they're safe. But it's a good vibe in his home. It's a beautiful home, and it's just an awesome vibe to see his kids there and them all getting along. And
I appreciate that. The only thing I don't like about them, my boys, is they wear those fucking Crocs, bro.
Watch out. I'm not going to fucking laugh.
I know.
I'm not going to laugh.
I've seen him. He wears them. They don't wear them all the time, but when they wear them,
I wear them at home. They're comfortable as fuck. I have a little Chalino pin on it, another Bucanitas pin on it.
That makes them hard?
Yeah. The hardest hot pink Crocs there are in the block, bro. Am I cool now though? What?
Shout out to my boys. No, and my daughter too. I have amazing kids. I'm blessed, bro. I'm more than anything, I'm fucking blessed beyond some days it's and I know that. I realize that, and like I said before, and I'll say this again, that it's not me, it's everybody. It's everybody that contributes. It's people like you, people like Casas, people like David, people like so many other people that make it what it is. And
shit, we made the cut, bro. What's up, though? But you know what I'm saying, and that's what it is. That's the reality, bro. Felicidades,
how
bro.
the fuck would I sound if I'm like, oh yeah, me,
it's all me.
As you'd be a fucking asshole.
Yeah, you wouldn't be around very long.
No, it's true.
Bobby Tribal, felicidades, congratulations on all of your successes.
Gracias.
This is just, I feel like it's one cherry on top of what you've done.
Saber.
Talking to you, I feel like there's more cherries. Va a haber un chingo de cherries, bro. Cherries, baby. But this cherry right here on this, Street Legacy,
a ver.
June 25th.
Ojalá, yeah.
3 months, probably more.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to stop. Head on out. It's free. Bring the family. Enjoy it. Go multiple times.
That's right.
Like David the Baca said, go once. Enjoy the ambiance. Go twice. Soak everything in.
Yeah.
Go 3 times just for fun. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in, both of you.
I appreciate it.
I always, bro, you know I'm a fan.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fucking fan. Thank you for everything you've done for us. And we look forward to growing this relationship even more.
Likewise.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Tribal.